Hey everyone, I have Dr. Cedrek McFadden with me, our 7 News medical consultant, as we stay up to date with what's happening in the world of COVID. Cases around the country are rising. We've seen North Carolina starting to rise, South Carolina holding somewhat steady at the moment with an increase going on, but not to the level we're seeing around the rest of the country. But everybody, Dr. C, is holding out hope for this vaccine that has had such success, and it's that Pfizer vaccine. We've been talking about it in the news a lot, so I want to talk to you about how Pfizer's trial was organized and how they performed this whole thing.
Well, they began this phase of their clinical testing in July, and they divided their group of volunteers into 2 groups. One group received the vaccine that they were trialing, and the other group received a placebo, like salt water. They followed them over time to see who would receive or who would actually be infected with COVID-19. Up until this point, they have only 94 out of 44,000 of those volunteers that have been diagnosed with COVID-19. Now, this has been a blinded study, so the volunteers don't know whether they got the vaccine or placebo. Neither do the doctors or neither do the top company executives. And so that's how we conducted this particular trial, to see the results and to see whether or not, the people that got the vaccine are truly protected.
So what are they finding out about the safety of it? Because that seems to be the top concern for people around the country. Is it safe?
So far, there have not been any serious consequences to this particular vaccine. Now, I should mention that when they started this in May, that initial phase of clinical testing was looking at the safetiness of this vaccine. And what they did, they had 4 different versions of the vaccine that they were initially testing. And they chose this particular one that had fewer side effects, such as fever and fatigue. It should also be noted that if for any reason this particular vaccine receives emergency FDA approval, they're going to be following the people that receive it, millions of people, over a long period of time to see whether or not there are any rarer side effects. And the people that volunteered, this 44,000 people, they're going to be followed for a couple of years to see whether or not they have any side effects, to see whether or not the long-term effectiveness and safetiness is warranted.
Now, who will be the first to get the vaccine? How's that going to work?
Well, Pfizer believes that by the end of the year, they'll have probably 30 to 40 million doses available. So that's enough for 15 to 20 million people to get the 2 recommended doses. They're going to be 3 weeks apart. Now, they've not said who's going to get it first, but you could possibly imagine that we're talking about people who are at high risk. These are the frontline healthcare workers, perhaps older adults, or people with chronic illnesses, whether it be diabetes or obesity. They believe they can probably make about 1 billion doses per year. And keep in mind, there are probably 10 other vaccine trials in the same stage of clinical development all around the globe. So all of those numbers will help supplement so that worldwide we'll have vaccines that are available.
And with this trial in particular, what happens next? This sounds like a success story, but it's not over. It's continuing, right?
It's not over. While they've talked about a 90% effectiveness, they have to reach 164 cases of COVID before they close this particular study out. They analyze the data and really tell whether or not it's effective. Because right now, even though we have this preliminary information, we can't certainly say how effective this is going to be. And we also can't say how effective it's going to be against providing strong protection against the older adults or even the young children. The initial studies began enrolling people over the age of 18. In September, they began testing people that were 16. Last week, they began 12, and they're obviously going to be testing on down. So there's still a lot of work that needs to happen from this point.
And do you worry at all, when there's word of a successful vaccine on the way, that people will start to kind of let their guard down and go, oh, I don't need to wear a mask anymore. The vaccine is just about here.
Yeah, it is not time to throw the mask away. This is still, preliminary data. And also, we're going into a winter, and there's a lot of concern about, what's going to happen over the next few months with this particular virus. And think about this: even though we may have, vaccines that are rolling out, it's going to be a long time before the average American, who's not high risk, has access to the 2 doses of this particular vaccine. We also don't know, how protective this vaccine will be against asymptomatic spread or even the more severe cases of COVID-19. So this is not a time to throw away the mask. Please don't get rid of them quite yet.
Dr. Cedrek McFadden, thank you.
Thank you.